Dear friends, this is the presentation I did to the fellows and the members of the Royal Philatelic Society London a few days ago. And now I would like to record it again for you all and hope you like it. My today's presentation is a Boxing Day letter from our past president, King George V. In today's presentation, I would like to discuss the following 8 topics. First, King George V's letter to Lieutenant Lionel Sanders on Boxing Day. This letter was sent from Prince George to his friend, Lieutenant Lionel Sanders, by using the York Cottage printed stationery and signed G by Prince George at bottom left corner on front. Franked penny lilac stamp, cancelled Black King's Lynn, squared circle postmark, and also a black Portsmouth duplex vertical numeral 625 tongue curved postmark. A black Sandringham code B dated December 26, 98, date stamp on reverse. The letter sent from York Cottage, Sandringham on 26 December 1898, that is a Boxing Day, to Portsmouth, and then redirected to Chelmsford. The letter signed George to Lieutenant Lionel Sanders was about Sanders' new appointment as a deputy prison governor. Prince George wrote that he was always ready to help any of his friends, wishing Mr. Sanders a very happy new year, 1899. Prince George was appointed as a captain of HMS Crescent on 5th June 1898. According to the Navy and Army Illustrated, Volume 6, dated 4th June 1898, the Duke of York hoisted his pennant on board the first-class cruiser Crescent on 8th June 1898. The photo on the left shows the Duke, left, with the Captain Stanley Cobble, right, and the Duke's right-hand man in the Crescent, Commander Henry Campbell, in the middle. One of the officers served in the Crescent was this letter's addressee, Lieutenant Lionel F.W. Sanders, who had served with the Duke of York before as sub-lieutenant in the Thrush throughout the whole commission, during which the Duke of York commanded that little ship. Second, imperial penny postage introduced on Christmas Day. Here I would like to point out another famous event in the British postal history on the Christmas Day of 1898, one day before this letter. It was on that Christmas Day that the imperial penny postage came into force. According to the penny post by Frank Staff, the Duke of Norfolk, he was the postmaster general then, visited Queen Victoria and told her about the imperial penny postage. Her Majesty asked, "When does this come into force?" "We thought of the Prince's birthday," replied the Duke. The Queen inquired in her most icy tone, "And what Prince?" "The Prince of Peace, ma'am, on Christmas Day," the Duke gave a quick reply. Third, becoming a member of the Philatelic Society London. On 2nd July 1890, Their Royal Highnesses the Duke and the Duchess of Edinburgh attended the event held at the South Kensington Museum to celebrate 50th anniversary of uniform penny postage and penny black. At that event, the Duke revealed that their nephew, Prince George, later King George V, was also a very keen stamp collector. On 10th March 1893, the Duke of York had been graciously pleased to intimate his desire of joining the Philatelic Society in London. After his election had taken place, it was unanimously resolved with much acclamation that he was elected the honorary vice president of the society. Fourth, the wedding present from RPSL members. At the time of Duke's big wedding on 6 July 1893, the members of the society presented a stamp album to him as a special philatelic wedding present, in which there were 1,500 rare stamps donated by 100 members of the society, including the president, the Earl of Kingston, and many members from Europe, the United States, and Canada. The Philatelic Record in August 1893 reported the Duke's wedding and the present from the members of the society. This is the article by Philatelic Record. Fifth, the wedding present from China. The Duke had also received some wedding present from China. Mr. Xue Fucheng, an envoy extraordinary of China to the 4 European countries, United Kingdom, France, Belgium, and Italy, stated in his diary on 5th July 1893 that he went to the British Foreign Office and personally took the letter of congratulations there and gave it to Lord Rosebery. And Lord Rosebery promised to offer the message of congratulations to the Queen on Mr. Xue's behalf. Mr. Xue also sent wedding gifts to the Duke, and the gifts included 2 tall vases, 2 flower baskets, 2 small incense burners, and a tall wine kettle in Jingtai blue porcelain. The Duke expressed his appreciation by letter and claimed that they were the best gifts he had received for the wedding. Mr. Xue also attended the garden party together with another 2,000 guests from both the nobility and high-level government officers. This is the book about Mr. Xue's diary. And this is the photograph of Mr. Xue Fucheng in Qing Dynasty's dress. Sixth, the Royal Philatelic Collection. King George V built up the Royal Philatelic Collection on the basis of the collection of his uncle, the Duke of Edinburgh, who sold his collection to his brother, King Edward VII. And then King Edward VII gave this collection to his son, Prince George, later King George V. King George V collections were contained in 328 red stamp albums, which were called Red Stamp Collection or Red Album. The Red Collection contained all the stamps issued by the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth countries. There are countless unique and rare stamps in it, and it is recognized as the 5th best collection in the world. An article entitled "The King's Stamps" was published by Daily Mail to introduce this collection on 31st May 1910. This is the article published by Daily Mail. Seventh, becoming our president and the name of RPSL. On 29th May 1896, the Duke accepted the invitation to become the president of the Philatelic Society London and held this position until 1910, when he was crowned as King George V of Great Britain. Then he agreed to become the patron of the society. In early November 1906, the Earl of Crawford, vice president of the society then, had a meeting with the senior members of the council at his home to talk about the possibility of seeking the approval of the king to add the word royal to the society's name. After the meeting, he wrote to the Prince of Wales, the president of the society, about the society's name on 8th November 1906. On the following day, 9th November 1906, the Prince of Wales wrote a letter to the Earl about the new name of RPSL. In the letter, the Prince of Wales explained why London was added, because he thought London should be retained, which denoted where the society's headquarters was. This is the letter from Prince of Wales. In November 1906, the word royal was granted to be used for the society's name, and then became the current name as the Royal Philatelic Society London. A congratulatory article on the new name by an old member of the society was published by Gibbons Stamp Weekly on 29th November 1906. This is the article. London Philatelist in December 1906 also published a letter dated 28th November 1906 from the Home Office to confirm this new name. This is the letter from the Home Office. In 1924, the society was approved to have the right to use the royal coat of arms of the United Kingdom, the royal arms. Eighth, first RDP. King George V was later called, respectively, by the philatelic world as the world's most famous stamp collector, and also as the philatelic king. His name was also entered on the Roll of Distinguished Philatelist, RDP, in 1921 as Premier Philatelist of the World, and the first signatory to the roll. This is RDP, and King George V's name appeared at the top in the middle. That's all for my presentation. Thank you very much. I wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year. Thank you.